Hey, what's up, pro wrestling fans? Welcome to Nation's Corner. I am Front Row. Joining me this week, we have two of my favorite mics in the world, Mongrovian Mike and HiJacker Mike. What's up, people?
What's up?
Well, we got a special night tonight. We got a special guest coming up. HiJacker's going to bring us up to speed on that in a moment. But let's touch on some of the stuff that happened this week. It was a busy week in the world of pro wrestling. We had last weekend, we had Mission Pro Wrestling's Crazy Train. We had the Royal Rumble. Lots of eventful stuff happening in and out of the ring, on and off TV throughout the world of wrestling. So, while we have a few minutes before our guest joins us, I did want to give a quick shout out before we get started to my friend Ref Marsh, who had me as a guest on Wrestling on the Rocks this past week. So go check them out over on social media there at WOTR The Show on Twitter. And Marsh and I had a lot of fun. They drink and talk a lot of wrestling. So it was a good time. It was long. We had spent a couple hours breaking everything down. There was a lot to talk about. But yeah, he's a good dude, and I've been friends with him for a while. So also a Mission Pro sponsor from time to time. So go check their YouTube channel out, give them a like and a subscribe, and check out our interview this week. So one of the things I wanted to just briefly touch on was our Mission Pro pay-per-view from last weekend, Crazy Train. It was a great show. We know going into it that there were advertised matches that got changed, sort of whether it was last minute or, in the week leading up to. We did see the show open up with Holiday come out and say that, she was injured and would not be able to defend her Mission Pro title against La Rosa Negra. But what do we always hear? If you're going to lose something, give them something big, right? So who comes out? La Mera Thunder Rosa comes out with her Warrior Wrestling title and offers La Rosa Negra an opportunity to challenge for the title. So right away, you're like, okay, I'm here. This is good. This is good. Definitely got my, you had my interest, and now you have my attention. Lots of people in the chat. Say everybody in the chat. Wow, there's lots of folks joining in tonight. I see RA, I see John, I see Mrs. Front Row. HiJackers. Oh, wait, HiJackers right there.
How can I be in two places at once? I hope that's not HLM.
It's amazing. Oh, no, yeah, HLM. Nice. But no, it was a fun show. I know you guys saw the show. We all watched it together on Zoom. What did you think of the show overall?
It was a great show, man. I was excited for it. Our BTW Women's Champion, Viva Van, was on there, and I was happy to see her, even though she's been on Mission Pro for some time. But that Crazy Train was a great pay-per-view. It had my attention. It had me invested through the whole show. There was not one match you wanted to get up and say, okay, restroom, food break. You were interested and invested in the whole show. And the main event with Thunder Rosa and La Rosa Negra, oh, mwah.
Yeah, it was interesting because, and Mike, I think you pointed out at the time, Elder Mike, you talked about there was a Rosa chant because both women were Rosas, and they were just, we don't know who to cheer for, so we're just going to chant Rosa through the match.
You didn't know who, but one of the highlights of that match, though, was when they wound up outside of the ring and La Rosa Negra grabbed the beers and started chugging them, and then Thunder Rosa came up, turned her around, and gave her a good old Texas-style Stone Cold Steve Stunner.
That was awesome.
It was really good. While we're on the subject, I'd like to bring that up, Orange Crush Art. There you go. You can go to orangecrush.art and get that. Nice. It's a journal of magazine. It's like a really fancy schmancy. It's awesome. I mean, there's articles on Paro in there. There's articles on George Napolitano, the famous photographer, our father, and definitely a big article on Thunder Rosa. And it covers extensively the Mission Pro girls, the whole Mission Pro team. And as a matter of fact, she wears our own, inside you see her own picture of, the Rebecca Sucks Egg shirt.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh, that's a shout out for our boy Scotty too.
Yeah, Scotty had that shirt made up for the Mission Pro show back in May. It was pretty cool. She said it's one of her favorite shirts. But I did want to go back just a second. HiJacker, you talked about Viva Van, and Viva Van, I think, may be a guest on our show soon, working things out,
We are
which is
working
very
through.
cool. But Viva Van and Kelsey Reagan challenged the Renegade Twins for the Mission Pro tag team titles. And honestly, this was my favorite match on the card, and that's saying a lot. I thought it was one of the best tag matches I've seen in a long time because the Renegade Twins have but have become one of the most cohesive, well-oiled tag teams in wrestling right now. They work so well together. Their tag team psychology, which is something we don't often see on major television, not all the time anyway. I think they do it really, really well. And to be as young as they are and to be as talented as they are, it's very cool.
Definitely, man. This is the first time, other than in GCW, seeing the Renegade Twins. They're exciting to watch. They're hard hitting. They got the moves. They got the right stuff when they're in the ring. They know how to keep your attention. They know how to keep you invested through the whole match. You know what? Let's go ahead and book them versus the Bella Twins. That's something we need to see.
The second they come out of the curtain, they have this look about them that like, don't F around with us,
Mm-hmm.
And not to steal someone else's phrase, Ollie did's phrase, but you'll find out some shit too if you surround with the Renegade Twins. They took on that tag team, and that was one of my favorite matches of the night, definitely.
Yeah, no doubt. And what's interesting is, and we can share this now because Thunder talked about it on her vlog on YouTube today. The Renegade Twins are moving in with Thunder and Brian, and they're going to be training regularly with them and with other, high-profile schools in the area, which is only going to make them exponentially better.
Nice. That's good news to hear.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting.
Well,
overall,
when you could go under the wing and not only go under the wing, move in, as far as I'm concerned, the best female wrestler out there right now, and learn. You can't do nothing but get 150% better.
No doubt. The other match that I wanted to mention, one of my favorites in Mission Pro is Maddie Rankowski. She's built such a name for herself over the last year and change. She's been everywhere from NWA to Mission Pro to AEW. She's a regular over there. And she faced the debuting Maserati, although Maserati did work with Brian and Thunder in previous shows before the rebrand. And go back and watch. I said this last week. Go back and watch her interview on the Mission Pro live stream on a Mission from 2 weeks ago. Completely out of character. She just tells her personal story, and it's very inspirational. But Maserati, in a losing contest against Maddie Rankowski, showed a lot. And conversely, we saw her again 2 days later on AEW Dark Elevation against Kiera Hogan. So she's had a very busy week.
She's definitely showing up and showing out.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, she's been around a while. She's wrestled for a while. She's not a newcomer, but she's just starting to become more well known. Being on some of these higher profile shows. So I hope big things happen for her this year.
Definitely.
So while we have time before our guest joins us, I want to skip over to. We talk a lot about women's wrestling, and there's so much going on right now. The big news this week was that Warrior Wrestling next week. Is it next week? Next week is going to have Thunder Rosa defending her title against Athena, formerly Ember Moon. And it's a very exciting matchup. It's something that I don't think folks expected right away. And I'm definitely going to be watching.
Yeah, that's going to be a high-flying match. It's going to be a hard-hitting match because both of those women can go in the ring and they're going to beat the hell out of each other. Let's just say that.
No doubt. Well, we let's step up here because we have our guest in the green room. HiJacker, why don't you bring us up to speed on who our guest is tonight, and then I'll bring him in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a man that really needs no introduction. This man has been a part of some of the best groups out there. LAX, Beatdown Clan, the Elite Guard. He is an 8-time tag team champion, 5 times in Impact, and 3 times, or actually 2 times in NWA and once in IWA. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him as Hernandez, Mr. Shawn Hernandez. Shawn, how you doing this evening, brother?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Doing all right, man. HiJacker Mike here with Mongrovian Mike there. How you been, man? I know.
How are you, sir?
How you been? I know things have been hectic probably the last couple of years with COVID going on and everything, but how's Mr. Hernandez been navigating through everything with the pandemic?
Brother, I'm alive. That helps.
Hey, blessings and much to that, my man.
There's a lot of us that did not make it through the pandemic, so
yeah.
I mean, my family's healthy, everything's good. So I mean, as far as my small bubble, I'm doing great.
Well, that's good to hear, man. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. You've been in the industry since 1996, correct?
Yeah, I started training the end of '96, and I had my first match in '98.
98. Okay, so you're training for a good, pretty much full 2 years before you got in. How was that? How did you feel going in there? Because I know I want to get into it in a little bit. You were in arena football as well before that. And I wanted to ask you, how did it feel? Because I'm a former football player for 18 years trying to make it myself. So, just like you, I know the struggles of in and out. But transitioning from football to wrestling, how different and how hard were those tryouts and workouts for you?
Brother, it was like night and day. I mean, football, workout, sprint, playbook, go to practice. This, you have to, know the psychology. You got to know your bumps. You got to know how to call stuff without everyone seeing that you're calling stuff.
Yeah.
And your promos, your mic skills, your charismatic stuff you do in the ring. It's like night and day. It's like, I was in school all over again. I remember when I first started wrestling, all I wanted to do, because I found it so hard, was just to make my money back that I paid for the the classes.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, because I know as we look at it, wrestling, you got to work on your matches, as well as football, you got this big playbook. So in a way, they're kind of similar, but in a little bit different. What is your take on the playbook versus setting your matches up?
It's a good analogy, but I mean, it's also different because what happens, when you play a football game and you're at home and it's your home field advantage, no one's going to all of a sudden start booing you.
Oh, yeah.
There's times where you see where the crowd wants a certain guy to be the baby face and the other guy to be the heel. And you have to be smart enough and experienced enough to be able to switch it to do that match that way, to where I come in as I was supposed to be the good guy, but the crowd is cheering me so much and he's drowning out whatever the other guy's doing that I have to be the baby face instead of the heel.
Yeah.
And that happened in, I think 2009. It was LAX versus 3D in Puerto Rico. And we were big time heels. And I don't know whose idea was for 3D to come out as babyface in Puerto Rico. But they wanted to come out as babyface in Puerto Rico. It didn't matter what we did. They cheered anything we did. So, I mean, we had to change it on the fly. When we were the babyface. It was a quick learning experience right there. I mean, it's sold out. There's about 2,500 people there. So it was
a good little show.
Wow. There's a lot of people that, this new generation of guys, people, talk good or bad about them, but that's one thing they don't understand how to do is, because they call everything in the back, brother.
Yeah.
The fans might not want to see that. The fans might want to be more, it's this guy than that guy.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to make the adjustment in your mind, or you're wrestling for 10, 20 minutes for no reason.
Definitely.
You're putting extra poundage and punishment on your body for no reason because you think you know better than what these fans pay to see.
Yeah, definitely. Mongrovian, you have some questions?
Yes, I do. Definitely. It was very interesting. So Now, when you said 3D had to come out as baby faces, we've seen Bully Ray, and we're big fans of his, and 3D. Bully Ray, when he was born, never even came out a baby face. So we all know that.
I think that's why, because at the time we got we were such big heels and the crowd was actually cheering him, and Bully Ray, I guess, was absorbing and taking it all in. So he wanted to be the baby face any chance he got. It was awesome.
But I noticed what you said, that is the difference between like playing football or being a fighter or a boxer. You have to go out there and not only do the job in the ring, do that. You have to make sure the butts in the seats are having a good time. You got to entertain them. And that's another thing that Bully is always talking about. That he made that point too, and you make the point. So it's something that's learned. The psychology, goes in the ring. It also has to work outside the ring too. And you're right. You got to play to the crowd. Hey, this crowd hates you, so you're the heel tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to make them happy.
Well, I know that the new generation of wrestlers and wrestling fans get upset with the Bully Ray comments and the Jim Cornette comments, but I mean, it's a proven science, brother. These guys have been making money for years doing it a certain way. They're not recreating the wheel like they're trying to do in the new generation. If the new generation are way more athletic than we ever were, hands down.
Okay.
But I mean, if you watch a match from, say, this past week to any match from 10 years ago, and tell me how many of those guys would be on TNA or WBE, I will tell you were lying.
Man, yeah.
Wow.
This is a good time for wrestlers. I noticed. I just want to change it a little bit here. Researching, I noticed you were in a movie called Pickaxe, a horror movie.
Yes.
And at first I said, "Oh, this is a big wrestler guy, man. This is Hernandez." I said, He's got to be the freaking Pickaxe guy in this movie.
No.
I didn't know. And I'm watching, I'm waiting, I'm going, where is it? And all of a sudden I see you sitting there going, now I don't want to break any rules here, but you're a hell of a nice guy, man. You played such a scumbag in that movie. For the few minutes that you were in it, for the little time that you were in it, you got the heat. You got the heat.
Well, Jeremy Summerall is the director of that, and he's awesome. We're as soon as the COVID stuff goes down, we're shooting another horror movie.
Now,
coming up.
Nice.
You also had Sal Governale in there from the Howard Stern show. How crazy was that? How crazy is he?
Brother, it was all shot at night, and we're there until like dusk till nighttime. So you can only imagine how bad it got. This is before.
Oh,
this is about 2014 or 15, before more cell phones and videos and stuff you're not supposed to be doing comes out. So,
gotcha.
Well, any other plans of any more plans? You said you're going to plan to make some more movies with this. You want to do hard? You got to be the guy in the movie, though, man. You got to.
No, brother. I know what I want to do. I don't want to learn. I don't want to be The Rock or John Cena like this. I want to be Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? He does 3 or 4 movies a year. Has some cool lines. Has a badass kill scene, and he calls it a day. And guess what? His pockets are fat. He's good. His family's good.
Life is good for him,
He's placing that brand out. He's making his money.
Life
He's
is
a
good
total
for
badass,
right?
man. He is a total badass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to get on a couple other things here with you, Shawn. I want to talk a quick question about arena football. You, like me, love football and played football, I'm sure, high school and whatnot and up.
Yep.
Tell me one thing you loved, like myself, in arena football was smashing someone into the wall.
Brother, I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
Until this guy took a knee to the back of his head and got killed.
Ooh, when did that happen? During the time you were playing?
This is way after I played, maybe about 15 years ago.
Wow. Okay, I didn't hear about that. I'm gonna have to read up on that.
No, bro, he was offensive lineman. He was blocking down, and I don't know how it happened, but some guy's knee went boom, done.
Man, right there on the spot, I take it, huh?
But I mean, prior to that,
yeah,
arena football was awesome. I mean, I played, believe it or not, I played offense, defensive line, but you were licking your chops when someone tried to run out of bounds. Because out of bounds like this big.
yeah, you had that padding there, and you wanted to put him into that padding, man.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to go home. I guess you want to go home walking today if you try to go out of bounds.
Well, with that small field, sometimes I think it's rougher than the NFL and CFL and, college football and whatnot. Now, you have more ground to cover in professional football, but in arena football, you're crammed up in the size of almost like a hockey rink.
It is, but I mean, and also you got to realize you're playing both ways, and there's only 7 on 7.
Yes.
The only one that gets to come out is the quarterback, for the defensive specialist. So.
Yeah, and you're gassed by third quarter trying to fight.
That's why that's why you see most of the linemen are 260, 270 or less, because man, who's going full speed on both sides of the ball like that?
Yes. All right, let me change it up here. I see that you're a fan. You're a beer enthusiast. I see that you post about quite a few beers, man. So tell me about your taste for beer, man. I'm a big stout person, and I know Mongrovian, you like a certain type of beer, don't you?
I like the one that has alcohol in it.
So tell me about your taste for beer. I know you like Mickey's and you like Bud Light. So tell me about your no. Okay, then which one was it? Because you were in Vegas not too long ago, and you had a can. What is that? Miller Lite? No, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, my wife makes fun of me all the time because I'm an old man now, and we went to the store the other day. I got a 30-pack of Natty Light.
Okay.
That's our boy Tony Justice drinks that. Shout out to Tony.
Tony.
Now, when you were a younger man, you can drink those full beers and your stomach don't come out too much. But now when you get a little bit older, you better sit that light beer and hit that cardio, or those pants ain't fitting.
It's coming back to you, huh?
My wife, she loves the IPAs and all that. I mean, even she drinks the Stone Cold, beer. She loves that. She's the 100-pound lady who's just. It's definitely a harder drinker than I ever was. So.
Okay. Now, I know you're a fan of Cobra Kai. Am I correct?
Oh, yes.
The show Cobra Kai. Now, I'm sure you're a fan of the original Karate Kid movies as well.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you like season 4 that was just released so far? Did you find the action pack? Did it keep you cliffhanging? Did it answer your questions from season 3?
Bro, the Cobra Kai sensei is the man. He'll always be the man.
John Kreese.
Kreese is always going to be there. I mean, you saw within that flashback scene, and he could have saved his superior and still kicked him in that pit with the snakes.
Oh, yeah.
That was dope, man.
That was good
if you go
stuff.
against my man Kreese, I'll have them for you. Johnny included. I like Johnny. Johnny's a cool dude, but man, Kreese is the man. I mean, he makes that character was built for that actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't imagine any other actor playing that.
All right. Now I want to get to, because I think you have a movie you like, Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor, brother. Big Al and Popeye.
Brother, I got a Big Al air freshener in my car right now.
Yes.
And then when the scent goes away, I got the Popeye one waiting. If you have problems, communicate with me, man. All you got to throw a Blood In, Blood Out reference, and I'll get back to you just like that. I mean,
good
there's
stuff.
not a lot
man.
of Latino movies out there that gets in the grind of how things can happen.
Yes.
Dad, American Me, man. If you have not seen those movies, and you want to be any part of the Hispanic culture, you got to check those out.
Even Stand and Deliver.
Oh, most def.
Yeah, definitely. Now I want to take you back to 2009. I know this had to be a proud moment for you. Your daughter Liz winning the weightlifting silver and gold in 2009 and I believe 2010 at her high school. How proud were you in that moment? And did you have any help in her training for that, since you've been a pro wrestler and you're always in the gym working out yourself?
Yeah. Well, many moons ago, because I'm an old man now, I was third in the nation in drug-free powerlifting.
Nice.
I had an official 808 squat, a 765 dead, and a 545 bench. And my daughter was a very good athlete. She was into volleyball, basketball, softball, all those. But she was way different than how me and you are. She was tired of depending on teammates to win.
Yes.
So she did individual sports, and she took up powerlifting, and she, like a duck to water. I mean, her first year she tried it was her junior year, and she missed getting number one by 20 pounds. And because there was a deadlift, there's 3 judges, judge. You need to get at least 2 white lights instead of red lights, because red lights means you wasn't a good lift. One judge gave her a questionable one, and other 2 judges. You know how it was when you're the dad, and I think it was a clean lift, but obviously the judge didn't. But she missed it by 20 pounds. Her senior year, she just destroyed everybody, man. They didn't have a chance.
Wow.
And luck would have it, one of my friends I played college football with was the head athletic director for the local high school there.
Okay.
And he gave her some tips and stuff like that, and she just smashed everybody, man.
Wow. I bet that made you proud in that moment that she came in and she won gold in 2 different events for weightlifting.
Well, come on.
Yeah.
The only thing better than yourself, making a big accomplishment is having your children,
Definitely. Definitely.
Mine was a different time. I got a scholarship for football, and I'm an old man. I was the first Hispanic ever to play for Kilgore Junior College up in East Texas.
Okay.
Ever.
Nice.
Those guys. The only Hispanics up there were the farm workers.
Gotcha.
So, especially the late age, early 90s, you can imagine how many fights I got into.
Oh, I bet.
I'm the only Hispanic dude.
Yeah, you had to hold your own up there, I take it.
Oh no, man! I think I got in about 9 fights during 2 days.
Man.
Because it's a different time. Everyone's this. America's so beautiful now, where all the races can hang out and nobody cares.
Yeah.
This wasn't anybody over 40 knows that, man. It wasn't that way in the 90s at all, early 90s.
Yeah, definitely. Mongrovian, you have any more questions yourself?
Yeah, I just want to say I think you have a birthday coming up in about a week or so. Am I right?
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be a very young 49. I would just want to say a happy early birthday to you. From
much appreciated, man.
Yeah, definitely. You come from a service family.
Yes.
Your dad was a Green Beret.
Yes.
And a POW.
Yes.
Well, thank you, your father, your family, because it's not just a person in the military. The whole family sacrifices along.
Oh, and I didn't see my dad on a regular basis until I was about 7th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how much traveling he was doing.
But he owns a winery now, doesn't he?
Oh, Texas Vineyard and Smokehouse in East Texas, Palestine.
Yeah, give him a shout out in Palestine.
In Palestine, Texas, not Palestine. That's the
No.
Yeah,
Our brother, another one of the co-hosts on this show, Tony Justice, lives in Palestine. He's a truck driver. He's the greatest truck driver of all time.
Really?
So he's all over the place. But he is, that's where he's from, Palestine. That's where he lives. So he's got to pick up a couple of bottles of your father's wine for our resident wine drinkers here.
My dad has the best sangria in all of East Texas. So he'll be doing himself a disservice if he doesn't get none, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, definitely. We got some wine drinkers in the group here, and we'll definitely have to have a couple bottles picked up.
Let me tell you, we got Deb House and another host. We got Ashley. We got Christina. I mean, they'll keep your father in business.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
God bless him, too. POW to a nice sitting down, drinking wine. Beautiful.
I mean, he went from a Green Beret for 30 years to teaching self-defense at the Houston Police Department to making wine. I don't know how that worked out, but it worked out.
That's a great combination.
Well, that's awesome. All
right. Well, I want to ask you, while you're in the ring, you're a powerhouse. So what do you like facing? How do you rate what you face from a high flyer, kind of like, who would you say? Kind of maybe like we'll say like a high flyer technical guy like Rey Mysterio versus another powerhouse who you face like in Cage. What do you like to face when you're in the ring, and what is more difficult for you in the ring when you fight a certain type of character, skill technique wise?
Well, I think the Lucha style, because they have so many, they have so much acrobatics, and plus those guys are very, very well versed in chain wrestling and key locks and stuff like that. That's, for me, it's more difficult to wrestle, say 200 pounds than wrestle someone who's 400 pounds.
Yeah.
400 pounds, I mean, you just go to slug with him until he gives up. Until obviously the cardio is not there, and I mean, let's be realistic. If I could put my hands around your waist and like this and lock, good night.
It's a wrap.
Just tuck your chin and hope for the best, man.
So you feel your best stuff that you put forth in the ring is with another big man. Then you're just.
It all depends what it's not what I like. It's not what you like. It's what those fans want to see.
Yeah. I think what we were trying to get to is what style brings out the best in you. Like not necessarily you wrestling Lucha style, but like having a smaller version. The Davey versus Goliath kind of match, or the two big guys just like pounding the friggin' hell out of each other, like two sides of beef.
I like both. I mean, to be honest, my favorite is tag wrestling. Obviously with Homicide and different guys like that, Chavo Guerrero. Just be able to the psychology, and you come in as heels and the crowd wants to cheer you, or worse, the crowd wants to cheer you coming in, and then man, screw those dirty guys. I hate those guys. Just to be able to screw with people in the fans' minds for that 10 to 15 minutes is awesome. So
now can you tell us two different things that you got from like learning wise, maybe whatever skills wise or anything from Chavo and from Homicide,
that's simple. Anything that you saw me do in the ring from 2006 to 2009, good or bad, blame Homicide.
Yeah.
Because I was let me tell you how I got hired at LAX. LAX was Conan's group with Apollo from Puerto Rico with Homicide. Apollo was having some personal issues, so they let him go. So, how I got hired? Oh, we need another big guy, a big Latin guy. That was the only requirement. So I'm wrestling Japan, wrestling in Mexico, wrestling in Puerto Rico. I don't even know what style I have, but I just know I don't have TV style. And Homicide sat me down and playbooked matches for me of what to do, when to do it, and why to do it every match. whether it was a house show, whether it was a TV show, whether it was pay-per-view, because he has that much, knowledge from the Ring of Honor, and this is his life. That's what he wants to do, is be a ring general. He wants to be an agent producer. Is what he's doing that in NWA and in MLW right now. But I mean, I cannot say nothing negative or even more, give him more props than this guy. Anything you saw from 06 to 09 in a tag match, it's 1,000% him. He's the one who made this go off like that.
Yes, and also you mentioned NWA, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say that you also held quite a few belts in the NWA too.
Yeah, we did. We was the first Latino tag champs ever.
Definitely.
It's a little bit different now. I like to wrestle, but I mean, I like to wrestle, but I don't want to take a pay cut to be on TV. So
definitely.
And wrestling right now, if you guys, if you watch wrestling at all, and you're so saturated from Monday through Sunday, you can watch a TV show with someone who has wrestling on it.
Oh, believe me, we know.
Oh yeah, we know.
And that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. It's a great thing for the fans, but you got to realize, for every time there's a new promotion pops up that has a TV show, that's less money going to someone else.
Yeah.
Yes.
So unless you're in WWE right now, I don't care XYZ, ABC, who you think it is. If you're not in WWE right now, you're not making money.
I have a question. I have another question for you. One quick one. Did you during your time in Lucha Underground, did you cross paths with this woman, Thunder Rosa?
Yes, she was. I did season 4, and she was on season 4. Yes, I was on season 1 and 4.
Pretty awesome, because we're all big fans of hers around here too. So
yeah,
we're just.
You got anything else, Mongrovian?
No, I'm done. I'm enthralled.
Okay, I want to ask you there, Hernandez. When you got to travel across tons of different promotions, Japan, you said Puerto Rico, you even had a stint in WWF, NWA, Impact, Lucha Underground, which was at the time you were there was very popular and exciting. Which one of these promotions was your favorite, and why? Was there, how they treated you, how they portrayed your character? What was one of your favorite promotions or favorite promotions to work for?
Well, I'm glad you said Lucha Underground, because Lucha Underground for the first 2 seasons was the best show hands down on television.
Yes, they were beating WWE perfectly, man. They were hot.
From the wrestling to the vignettes to the interviews to the promos,
the cinematics.
I mean, it was like an action B movie you were watching. So the show was like an hour, and it went by like that, and you were like, man, what's the next one? What's the next one? Yeah. The creative team, the head of the creative team was Chris Joseph. Beautiful guy, man. He had an outline for what he wanted you to do, and if you didn't like the outline, you could work with it to make it fit your character. And that's why Lucha Underground grew so big that first year, is because you got some of these guys. Everyone knew me from LAX and tag wrestling. Man, I got to become the grimiest heel ever on Lucha Underground. It was awesome.
Definitely.
These guys were stuck in certain roles and wanted to try something different. And man, Chris would give you a chance, and if the crowd responded, he ran with it. Like we did that the Backlash Believers match with Drago, with the straps, and me and him, like, oh my god, that was my idea.
Oh, nice.
And it was rough.
Oh, I bet, man. I bet. We have a question from YouTube if you'd like to take a question.
Sure.
R.A. Davis says, have you been watching Homicide in the NWA Junior Heavyweight Tournament on NWA USA by any chance?
If I'm on the show, I usually don't watch it. I have kids.
No, I hear you.
I'm not being mean. I mean, Homicide like my brother. He's easily one of the most underrated cruiserweights around, because yes, maybe he don't do a lot of extra flips you want to see, but no one, he can wrestle a 300-pound guy or a 200-pound guy or even a 100-pound guy, and he don't look out of place.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you watch him wrestle bigger dudes. We all have. You know, he doesn't look like he should be getting killed. He looks like he holds his own. I mean, he's the Puerto Rican version of Terry Funk, and he's always going to be that way. You know, God bless him. I hope, you know, if no one deserves a title more than him. I don't know. He does.
Yeah. Hey, Mongrovian, do you have anything else before we wrap up here with Shawn in a few minutes?
Yeah, well, we got you coming up on Lucha Patron. You're going to be facing Dreamy Drew. Where you wanna plug that coming up and let us know where we can see it or where they can get tickets.
You got me on the spot, but Lucha Patron is one of my favorite promotions to wrestle. You know, in Northern California and Santa Rosa. I like wrestling with those guys. I mean, that crowd was always hot, and man, it's good that it's different because it's a different style of Hispanics, because we have Hispanics here, and obviously in San Antonio. But to see the love from other parts of the country is beautiful. I mean, you're up there in wine country, up there in San Francisco area. It's awesome. I mean, those guys are great. They use all these up and coming hungry West Coast guys, but I tell all these great up and comers, yes, you might be the future a year or 2 years from now, but you got to realize you got to get past the present right now.
Got to get past the now.
They know someday I'll be the champion. It's right now.
you know, Hernandez, I'm only 45 minutes from Santa Rosa, where you're going to be. Unfortunately, I'll be out on vacation when you come through to fight Dreamy Drew in April, but I will definitely be there for the next show you're in, and I'll introduce myself to you personally when you do come back. But yeah, Lucha Padron is only 45 minutes from me, where I'm at in the Bay Area, California.
They run about 4 shows a year.
Definitely, okay.
And next time you come there, hit me up, man. You come out, you be my personal ring announcer, bro.
Sweet. I got you on that, brother. I'll come out and we'll do it up, but man, we'll do it up personally.
Most deaf.
All right, Shawn. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. Do you have anything to plug? Any upcoming events, projects, social media where people can follow you and find you at?
On Twitter, I got Supermax CTM. That's CTM. I'm going to England February 19th to Cheltenham Hall. I'm wrestling next weekend in Laredo, Texas, with a lot of AAA guys. The old guy Mark Jindrak, Marco Corleone will be on the show.
Okay.
And I'm just having a good time. Get my lucha stuff in, get my England stuff in.
You're living the dream, my man. You're living the dream.
Hopefully, when the COVID stuff goes down a little bit, I have a special project that I'm working on. I'm trying to get back to Japan to wrestle, because I have a student who just turned 20. I've been training for about a year and a half. He's 6'9" and 450 pounds.
Woo! That's a big boy.
The biggest Mexican guy I've ever seen in my life.
Nice. Can't wait to see him come out. And,
he has the best feet I've ever seen. I'm a big man. I mean, this guy can do a cartwheel. He's very flexible. And he's probably had about 30 matches now. And he's such a beautiful kid, because he has no social media, which is unheard of for a 20-year-old.
Definitely.
So, I mean, what I want to do is I want to send him to Japan for about 6 months, get him nice and polished up, and he comes back to the States worth 6 figures. So everybody's good.
Cool. All right. Well, Mr. Hernandez, I want to thank you for joining us today on the Nation's Corner. I am looking forward to meeting you in the future at Lucha Patron, and thank you very much once again for joining us on the Nation's Corner.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir.
All right, brother. Thank you. Well, Mongrovian, what do you think, brother?
Wow. Impressive, man. Big man. Pretty cool dude, huh?
Yeah, very chill, very laid back, and enjoying his weekend.
Very open, willing to talk about anything you ask him, too.
That was a good interview, a good conversation. You definitely get the vibes from him. Like, he's very calm until he doesn't have to be anymore.
Yes. he takes Patrick Swayze's rules from Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
No, that was cool. Yeah, it's interesting. He's got a lot. He uses his social media to promote a lot of stuff. So yeah, go give him a follow over at Supermax CT. There was a couple things I wanted to talk about before. I know we've only got a few minutes left on the show. I wanted to catch up with you guys on a couple of things. You know, there was a big Tony Khan was on Busted Open this week talking about a big announcement he was going to make. And I thought when he was on the show, it was going to be on Rampage, but he promoted after Rampage on Twitter that he'd be making an announcement or that there'd be a big debut next week on Dynamite. And the reason I bring this up is it's confusing to me. The tweet initially said that someone was coming through the forbidden door and would be making their debut next week. So to me, that says someone who's contracted with another company is going to be showing up on Dynamite. It's going to be a big name, whatever. Then his follow-up tweet said that this person was going to be signing a contract with AEW. So to me, that says, well, this person, the forbidden door doesn't really apply here because this person no longer works for their previous company. They're just starting work on Wednesday. So I don't know what you guys thought about this. And then the second part of that is, you know, who do you think it's going to be?
Man, no.
Well, I don't know. Who do we think who do we have? We got Ali's been making rumblings. We see a lot
under
of
contract.
with the
Still under
signs.
contract.
Ali. I mean,
No, but you've got people like Keith Lee and Killer Cross and I mean, you still got your Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt and all those people who are still out there sort of circulating out in the ether, making little appearances at conventions and stuff like that. There's some good names out there, but you know, we have Mrs. Brown. We're counting back 90 days. That's exactly right.
Good old 90-day contract, huh?
Unless you're with NXT, and NXT people only had 30 days. 30. So yeah. So I'm going to be interested to see who it is. There's a lot of people who says it's a guy. It could be a woman, right? We don't know.
That's right.
Although we've had this conversation on the show that a lot of some of the biggest names in independent wrestling are currently signed. However, there's some up and comers like your Kylan King, which don't tell me why she's not signed already. You know, you've got your La Rosa Negra and Jasmine Allure and all those people who are making big names. Genocide's not signed yet. I have no idea why. But there's a lot of who?
It's Shane.
Shane McMahon. So, I mean, that was a big story this week. There's really nothing that's come out official. There's just a lot of rumor and innuendo about what may or may not have happened backstage. I wasn't there. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that indicates that he does or doesn't work there because I don't know those people and nothing's been made public.
Yeah.
There's Tony Justice. Tony Justice. Also from Palestine.
We were talking about you on the show, brother.
Yeah, Tony, when you get home, you got to go to the winery there, get some wine for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go back and watch the interview, Tony. You'll see what we're talking about. But yeah, so I thought that tweet was really interesting. The other thing, so I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that because it feels to me like they keep adding more and more people to their roster. And they're not telling stories that make me want to, like, I watch because I like AEW and I like the action and we support the people there. But week over week, I need something to get me interested in like, oh, I can't wait till Friday. Like I have to watch on Friday because this story happened. You know, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Like we saw on Rampage this week, Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez had a great match. And then Mercedes hits Thunder with a pipe. Like Thunder was crying on the ground. Like that was not good. Like that was a bad scene, right? Yeah. So, and then we find out in the post-match interview that Britt Baker hired Mercedes Martinez to do damage to take out Thunder and didn't really do a good enough job. And there was some words exchanged there. Yeah. And, you know, Britt told Mercedes to go finish the job. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. But at least there's a thread there. There's a through line that carries it all the way through.
Yeah, exactly. And there's something between Hater, so it'll at least there's some kind of a storyline going there, and you could see something going somewhere. Did you ever think like could we just take the psychology and the storytelling that and the adherence to the rules that the WWE does, take that best stuff from them and then put it with the AEW exciting stuff and just kind of make a hybrid of those, and just something that'll just make everyone happy, because sometimes I feel I don't fit in the demographic. I'm old. I'm supposed to love WWE, bring my little kids there, and meanwhile I'm AEW all the way right now. So.
Well, remember, Mongrovian, WWE doesn't want us. We're too old for their product. They want us to leave and go elsewhere. So we'll happily take AEW on because we are out of their 7 to 13-year-old demographic that makes their money when the kid wants the Super Cena John Cena t-shirt.
Spend money. You want to see all the money I spend on all the shirts? Jeez.
Are they WWE shirts, Mongrovian?
Almost all of them.
Then we got to go talk to McMahon and ask him what's going on there, because the older demographic is still here.
He'll just tell me.
So speaking of shirts, I'm wearing my Mark Henry shirt today, and Mongrovian Mike is wearing his Busted Open shirt because today was day 6 of the Busted Open challenge, WrestleMania t-shirt challenge. Dave LaGreca heads that up every year. I've not missed a day. This is the 4th year I've not missed a day. And I have enough probably to carry me through to SummerSlam if I need be.
Yes, well, WrestleMania is 56 days away, so we know
we're good.
We got 56 shirts.
Oh yeah, like triple that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so folks, you don't have to hit it every day. If you get a chance, post on social media, tag WM T-shirt challenge.
Got my old Triple H shirt from when WrestleMania was out here in Santa Clara back in 2015.
King of Kings.
Nice.
Cerebral Assassin, so
I think Mrs. Front Row is poking fun at me till WrestleMania 54. I don't have that many shirts.
You have enough shirts to cover all the way through, huh?
I do not. I do have an armoire dedicated to wrestling shirts, though. So, but yeah, go check that. Go check out the hashtag. There's people. What I like doing is going through and looking, because man, there's a lot of interesting shirts that I've never seen before. You really get to see some cool stuff out there.
It doesn't hurt too. I retweet everyone I see. So
that's what you should do.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely
Dave LaGreca started there.
It's a little fun thing. What the hell?
Yeah, you're having fun to WrestleMania from the end of Royal Rumble. You know, it's
there's so much negativity with wrestling, the back and forth. There's so much negativity that do something positive. Have a little fun.
That's what it's all about. And you're representing everybody, not just one company. You're representing everybody. You wear a Busted Open shirt, you wear an AEW shirt, you wear a WWE shirt, a Mission Pro shirt, an Impact shirt. It doesn't matter. New Japan Pro Wrestling,
a podcast, anything.
Yeah, you can even wear an independent that's in your neighborhood that you like to go to. It doesn't matter. Anything wrestling related till WrestleMania every day is your game plan.
Just do
Who knows? Maybe we'll have shirts soon too.
Yeah, the ones with spaghetti stains I give to Christina. And then she makes them look good. I don't know how she does it, but
you're so generous.
Yes.
All right, so we're heading towards the end of the show, but there are 2 things real quick I wanted to hit on, and just to get your brief opinions on this. And this is something you guys were talking about with Shawn Hernandez. Is heat in the wrestling business is really hard to come by from the perspective of, to get people really angry, you have to offend them. And it's a fine line, because people get genuinely offended to the point where they don't consume your product. So if I look at a situation this week where Brandy Rhodes, who's supposed to be a babyface, is out there against having a promo battle with Dan Lambert, who is clearly the bad guy for weeks and weeks, right? He's been on that side of the fence talking all kinds of shit about people. He's getting cheered and she's getting shut the F up chants because they don't want to see Brandy Rhodes out there. So is that legitimate heat? Is that the kind of heat that she can work with? You know, and I've heard from people that she is like, well, this is great. Like, I'm getting a lot of heat, but I think there's a fine line between I'm getting the kind of heat that's going to make people tune in to, oh, or is it turn the channel type of stuff? So I don't know what do you guys think?
I don't know. Is she getting is the Cody heat rubbing off onto her too? I don't know. It's strange, but thank God Dan Lambert realized it and he's able to turn it around. And he was able to save that. He was able to save that whole segment. I think
it was awkward, right?
I think it threw her off because she even says halfway through, she goes, okay, I'm going to just barrel on through or whatever. She says, okay, I'm just going to go right on through. So it was very strange. Yeah. It was kind of like, even if I didn't care for Brandy, I don't know about the chanting and stuff, that chanting, but it happened and she took it like a Rhodes could take it.
Yeah, it's weird, I don't know where Cody fell down the line with the crowd, because 1 minute they love him, 1 minute they're on him, it's hard to say, but as we've noticed over the last 10 years, especially, wrestling crowds have been, as Daniel Bryant and WWE would put it, fickle. 1 minute you're happy, then the next minute you're not. Back in the day, we cheered for the face. In the 80s and the 70s, you cheered for the face. Not many people cheered for the heel, especially when they were coming from somewhere else that we weren't fond of. But today, it looks like more heels are being cheered than the faces. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's a catch-22 today. We don't know which way we're going to go.
And don't forget all the characters out there now that are just in a gray area.
Well, and there's also this situation where the fans think they know what's real and what isn't, quote unquote, right? So if you see someone and a good example recently was, Bully Ray caught a lot of flack for his comments about Jon Moxley. Mm-hmm. And if you listen to the show live, the context was different than what was put out there in sound bites, which happens a lot. But at the same time, they meaning the social media audience, treated that like his hard and fast thoughts on the matter. So he caught all this heat. But in the end of the day, he's still a pro wrestler on a radio show playing a character. You do get the real guy, but he's always working. Bully Ray is the kind of guy that's always got something going on. So I guess my point is that the type of stuff are people going to pay for a ticket to see someone come and beat up Bully Ray?
If Bully Ray's insensitive?
If Bully Ray had showed up in GCW and confronted Moxley, the place would have melted.
Oh yeah.
That would have been money-making heat versus oh, you said something terrible and you need to go away heat. They were chanting F Bully Ray at the GCW show and he wasn't even there.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm not making a judgment on his comments, but my point is that there is still a way to fine tune that and get the right amount of heat, which feels real to the fans.
Definitely.
Right.
Because that's what the fans want, right? They want something to boo and something to cheer. So the artists, which are the wrestlers in the ring, they have to create that. Hey, I'm the heel, so I got to do something to piss everybody off, to make them dislike me, cheer for my opponent, and we're getting in the ring. And hey, one side you're yelling at me, the other side you're cheering for him or her.
Also, the way things are today, it's kind of refreshing to see someone who didn't wilt. He didn't wilt because he knew he didn't say anything that bad. It's not like, it's not, he didn't say anything racist. He didn't say anything, he didn't say anything in the bad top 5 things that you're not supposed to say, So,
yeah, there's some stuff that definitely that requires an apology, but that was,
of course.
He was this is just my opinion on, because the conversation was, how could he have made the promo better? It wasn't whether it was good or bad or if it was right or wrong. He was specifically asked if there was anything he would have done to make it a little better. He's like, well, maybe I would have done this, and then it blew out of proportion. But that's the sort of thing you can ride with. And I guess so that brings me to my last topic, and then we'll wrap up for the night. Someone who was really good prior to the pandemic at getting quote unquote real heat was Ronda Rousey. In her promos and her videos, her YouTube channel, all of the stuff that she did with Becky Lynch leading up to that WrestleMania 35 main event was stellar. So now that she's returned, it was weird because she came out as a bad guy on Monday and then clearly a good guy on Friday against Charlotte. And in this, so I want to get your thoughts on this, because the three people in this entire situation is Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda, all bad guys, like all heels. So what do you do moving forward? They've already said that it's going to be Charlotte and Ronda at Mania.
Yeah. If you look at it, WWE, I love them. I have them on my damn license plate on my car. But they're known to be, I guess, wishy-washy. 1 minute, hey, you're a face, you're going in this route, and then all of a sudden, by Friday, they have you going in the opposite direction, and you're a heel, and you're going down this path. I don't understand it. They don't explain it. They don't give you any reason. I don't know, but I like seeing badass Rousey. I want to see the badass Ronda Rousey. That's who I want to see. I don't want to see her as face because we got a good year of that on her last run as a face, but I want to see her as a heel, and I want to see what she can do on the mic, and her skills, her UFC background could back this heel phase up.
Well, we all see her came out. It was just strange seeing her come out like that on Monday night with bad face. We knew she was a heel when she came out at the Rumble. She was a heel because she wasn't acknowledging, she wasn't smiling right to the ring. So that right there, and then all of a sudden Friday it was all smiles, and I guess were they thinking it on the fly? Hey, let's see when you come out this way on Monday, and then we'll decide. Okay, Friday come out this way. I think we'll go with the Friday.
They probably said, hey, we got to sell a few more shirts, so smile a little more for the kids.
And it's quite obvious that they're not going to bring up the fact that Becky didn't pin her. So even though they think that all of us will forget about it. But
Is it possible that the reaction that she got at the Rumble, which was wildly pop, like it was a huge pop, right? She still got a good reaction on Monday, and she got a good reaction on Friday, and they realized this isn't a heel. Like, we have to wait on this. Like, she's getting a babyface reaction, and she's facing two heels. So, like, why not just run with that for now? And then over time, let her turn the crowd. Because that was the biggest problem that they had when Seth Rollins returned from injury. And he said it in the Steve Austin interview. He's like, they should have kept me a babyface for a period of time because the crowd had just seen this documentary. They saw me, document my return, all the work that I did to return from injury. And then the first night back, they turned him heel. And the crowd was like, yeah, we're not buying this. We like the guy. We just saw 9 months of his recovery. So for Ronda to be so popular and well respected and all that stuff when she came back, I think they can turn her, but I don't think you do it the first week.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, next week her name's change.
Well, can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah, Kat Zingano is her new name.
I said maybe at SmackDown somebody waved a Twizzler in front of her face and she smiled.
Oh, I saw that. She did the quick Twizzler commercials. Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Just a couple more quick hits. We have the new next Mission Pro pay-per-view is on March 5th. Hernadez Yagar, I think it's pronounced. It's this named after a Selena song, and it's going to be pretty fun. They're adding more names to the collective show. Man, that's going to be a killer weekend. The GCW collective always has such an amazing lineup of shows, from Effie's Big Gay Brunch to Bloodsport to the GCW shows to now Mission Pro. To me, I'm far more
Renegade Twins versus Bougie Reality.
That's right. That's right. It's going to be a good matchup. So yeah, keep an eye on the socials for all that. We're going to be interacting with them. I think we'll probably get. We might be able to bring you some interviews with some of the Mission Pro talent in the upcoming weeks. Are we confirmed for next week for our guest next week? Correct.
Yes, we are. We are confirmed, and we are good to go as of right now.
Okay, so next week, as it stands right now, we'll be bringing you Taeler Hendrix. She's been all over the place, been, in Impact and Ring of Honor. And I first met her in Queens of Combat like 6 years ago now. So it's going to be a really fun conversation. I'm looking forward to catching up with her, a fellow New Englander. So should be a good conversation. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
I'm good to go for tonight, brother.
Yeah. I'd like to talk about some of the on fire promos that we're seeing from some of the people. You were talking about how Ronda and Becky and everybody really use the social media. We got them boys there been using the social media with FTR, and that's just been really awesome. I suggest anybody go try and check that out. And I mean, really, when you see this,
Oh yeah,
in a promo, when you see them boys stealing Mongrovian Mike's gimmick, which
fine dining
Row can attest for.
Fine dining.
That's a good call, Mike.
Damn tapes.
That's a good call, because we also found out this week. We saw the on sale date yesterday of the NWA Crockett Cup, March 19th and 20th, I believe. It's a 2-night event. Tickets went on sale yesterday for the event. But them boys, the Briscoes, are advertised for that event, so it's gonna be a real physical night. Like, those guys are no joke.
Yeah, it's gonna be a banger.
Cool. All right. So, we're going to let you guys go. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. You can find us on all the socials on Twitter. We are at Nation's Corner. And on the rest of the socials, we are at The Nation's Corner. Like and subscribe. Set those notifications on YouTube. And I think we're working on a Twitch channel, too. I took a look at that this week.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully we'll figure that out in the upcoming weeks. And also, I'm working on getting our show ported to a podcast format. So hopefully we're going to continue to expand, and we've got more people joining the team who are helping out. Our show's getting bigger, and we're more excited. We're even more excited to be bringing you all kinds of fun stuff. So
great.
Where can folks find you guys on the social? Mongrovian?
You can just look for Mongrovian Mike, MJCHM 420. That's about it. Just look for me on there. I'm always stalking people on there. I'm stalking everybody. Everybody's stalking me. I'd say, listen, go to Thunder Rosa's Patreon and just subscribe, because you can hear her sing some beautiful music too. And she serenades you. She's funny. Not just eating tacos. She's doing good. It's really entertaining, and just support one of our favorite wrestlers out there. That's all I got to say. And I got to say, monkeys versus donkeys. Who do you got?
Shout out to Brian Rosa.
Ba, 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 ba.
You can catch me, HiJacker Mike. You can catch me on Twitter at Mr. Mac. Also, you could catch me if you are a boxing fan. You could catch me on YouTube, HiJacker Mike. You can follow me on Nation Night Fights, which premieres on Our Nation Sports Show, which is the Nation's Corner's sister show. You can catch me around, man. If you're out here in California at a BTW show as well, RIP Kurt White. We're going to have our tribute show in March. I'll come with more details on that. Other than that, you know where to find me. I'm here on the corner. I'm here on the block. I'm just going to keep it hot, brother.
And I am PW Front Row across all the socials. I don't have as much going on as you, HiJacker.
Or HLM for that matter.
Yes. But so we're going to go have a cigar and a coffee and enjoy our Saturday night, y'all.
Guys, what are we smoking?
Probably 660.
I got a 660.
All
I
right.
got a 660. I'm gonna have to throw a Fuente in there too.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, we're the 660 Club,
That's
and we
it.
are out. We will see everybody next week.
All right, y'all.